Imagine a world divided, a world where a single wall symbolizes the clash between two opposing ideologies. This was the reality post, World War II, as the globe was split into two spheres of influence. The stage was set for a conflict not of armies but of ideals. The ideological rift between the democratic West and the communist East was more than metaphorical, it was physical. Germany, a nation beaten and battered by war, was further divided into East and West. The Soviet Union, the harbinger of communism, rose to power, casting a long, ominous shadow across Eastern Europe. A metaphorical and, at times, physical barrier known as the Iron Curtain was established, segregating the free world from the communist bloc. It was more than just a boundary, it was a symbol of oppression, a symbol of division, a symbol of fear. This was a world where freedom was a luxury, not a right. As the years passed, the Iron Curtain began to show cracks. The formidable barrier that had once seemed impregnable was gradually weakened by a series of events that unfolded in East Germany and across the world. In East Germany, the seeds of political unrest were sown. Dissatisfaction swelled among the citizens, their voices muffled by the oppressive regime. The people yearned for freedom, for a life unshackled by the constraints of the Iron Curtain. This longing for liberty manifested itself in the form of widespread protest and civil disobedience. The streets brimmed with the collective cry for change, a cry that echoed beyond the confines of the East German borders. Parallel to this political unrest, a mass exodus was underway. East Germans, desperate for a taste of the freedoms enjoyed by their Western counterparts, embarked on a daring journey to the West. Risking their lives, they fled their homes, their families, and their past, crossing over to a world that promised a future of freedom and opportunity. The pressure was mounting from the West as well. Western countries, rallying behind the cause of liberty, applied political pressure on the East German government. They championed the rights of the East Germans, calling for an end to the division, an end to the oppression, an end to the Iron Curtain. And so the cracks in the Iron Curtain widened. The wall that divided the world was about to crumble. On November 9, 1989, the world held its breath. It was a day that marked the end of one of the most tangible symbols of the Cold War, the Berlin Wall. The East German government, grappling with weeks of civil unrest, decided to make an announcement that would change the course of history. A seemingly ordinary press conference turned extraordinary as government spokesperson Günter Schabowski declared that East Germans were free to travel to the West with immediate effect. The news spread like wildfire, triggering a wave of confusion and disbelief. East Germans, unsure if they had understood correctly, cautiously approached the guarded checkpoints. Border guards, equally bewildered, had received no specific orders and were forced to make on-the-spot decisions. As more and more people gathered, the atmosphere filled with an electric sense of possibility. Eventually, overwhelmed and outnumbered, the guards opened the gates. Tears of joy streamed down faces as East met West, families reunited, and strangers embraced. An impromptu celebration erupted as people began to chip away at the concrete barrier, using anything they could find. The sound of chisels striking the wall echoed through the night, a symphony of freedom. The world watched in awe as the symbol of division crumbled, piece by piece, under the collective force of a people yearning for liberty. The Iron Curtain had fallen, and with it a new era of freedom began. The fall of the Berlin Wall was not just a historical event, it was a call for freedom. A call that echoed through the corridors of time, reverberating in the hearts of people everywhere. As the concrete barrier crumbled, it symbolized much more than the end of a geopolitical divide. It marked the triumph of the human spirit, of the innate desire for liberty that resides in every one of us. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Iron Curtain serve as potent reminders of the power of collective action, of the strength that comes from standing up for what is right, for what is just. They remind us that freedom is not merely a state of being, but a constant struggle, a ceaseless endeavor to uphold our rights and liberties. So on this World Freedom Day, remember the fall of the Berlin Wall. Remember the importance of freedom. Stand up, speak out, and fight for your rights, because freedom is not a luxury, it's a right.